Welcome back to the podcast. Today we have a special guest star.
We have AJ in 50 years. Actually, on the show today, we have Josh Darnit. And everybody keeps asking me, pretty much, where's Josh? So it's been like a year. Like, where's Josh? Why don't you make videos with him anymore? And the truth is, I hate him.
That's right. That is the truth.
So I just have him on the podcast to say bye forever. No,
exactly. Still happy. I don't live there.
Yeah, dude, I love that. So I moved from California to Idaho. Everybody knows that. I moved about a year ago. So I haven't been able to make any videos with Josh. Not only that, the pandemic happened and it's been hard and it's just like everything's all over the place. So we had to get creative. But I said, you know what? I can get Josh on my videos.
I'm in high demand, but you can get me. I'll do it for you.
Yeah, I
People
told
are
him,
beating down the door.
Yeah, I said, hey, Josh, I'll fly you out, get you a hotel, all that good stuff, and you just have to pay for it all. So he hasn't done that yet. I tried, but I guess he doesn't want to.
Soon.
Just thousands of
when
dollars.
When that Vine money comes in, dude, I'll be out there.
Yeah, exactly. Vine is still, I guess Vine still kind of works. I post like old Vines on Instagram all the time, and they still do good. Sure. I guess there's people that haven't even seen them. But first of all, everybody who's watching this, you probably already know who Josh is. Have you ever told anyone your real name, or what's the reason why you hold that back?
It's funny. If you looked at the old, like the dads of Vine, it was coincidental, but it's like all the dads didn't use their real name. You had AB, you had Bottle Rocket, King Daddy, like the list kind of goes on. Woodsy, like, I don't know if it was that internal desire to protect our kids because someday they were going to be in school or they were already in school. I don't know, just like being older, but we all just kind of did that. But yes, my real name is out there. It got leaked at some point. My last name.
I did it.
You did it. That's right.
It, yeah.
It was some article. We actually got interviewed for some article. They didn't tell us they were going to do it. But they're like, social media personality Josh Darnit, whose real name is Josh Gaines. Like, I feel like the font even got like 3 times bigger when they put my real name on. So,
yeah, well, that's good because now everybody knows his name is actually Josh Gaines, but it should be Josh losing followers, not Gaines. But no, we all. Hey, me too. We all lose followers. We're getting irrelevant. It's not a big deal. Mine was fun. We had our time. But first and foremost, what is going on with your hair?
What's funny? I can't even completely blame the pandemic because I cut it once. I went probably for the first 6 months without a cut and I did it. And then this has just happened again. It's laziness, pure and simple. It's laziness.
Yeah. What's funny is good thing you haven't made a video with Juan because that would be, Juan would destroy you with that thing.
I hide under a hat most of the time, dude. I've either got a beanie on or that like stupid safari hat that I was calling, my kids call it my COVID hat because I was wearing that camouflage boonie hat for.
I'll be honest. Months. I'll be honest. I didn't believe you had that in you.
The hat?
I thought you were going the other way, balding.
Oh, balding.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. I'm not the young, thick-headed man I once was, but luckily I still got.
I remember your hair, and I don't remember you. I didn't seem like you had the ability to grow that out.
To this, dude. Yes. I don't. Maybe I should send you photos for this thingy so you can see what I looked like in high school or when I got married, like Sarah's prom. Well, my hair was down to here.
Now that we're talking about your high school days, why did you betray Jesus? You were one of his 12 disciples, right?
I was actually his twin brother.
Did they have cameras?
I was his adopted twin brother.
They had cameras back then, or not yet? Not yet?
Well, Jesus had a camera. No one else did, but he had access. He was outside of time. So he had today's technology then.
And then when you decided exactly, because everyone knows that nobody really knows your age that much, but then you decided to trick Rose and pretend you died on the Titanic.
Right. Yeah, for real, because she was clingy and needy, and I had to skirt and get out of that relationship ASAP.
You know what's funny is you've been old for like
forever
since Vine.
I know. I was almost 40 when Vine started.
But you weren't that wasn't even that old. But I really think some of my fans probably think you're like 80.
Yeah, and this, when I don't color it, this has actually got a mild just for men color on it, but when I let it go kind of full white, I think even my kids might think I'm in my 60s instead of my 40s, which is a cruel fate because my mom went totally white when she was 19, and I thought I dodged that bullet.
19?
Yeah, when she was 19, she went fully white and had to start dyeing her hair.
Dang. Yeah.
I know.
Maybe
so I didn't do that.
So Josh is technically not that old. How old are you for real? If you want to
46.
say? 46. You know what? He's younger than my dad. My dad's like 60. But he could still be my dad. Yeah, he's actually I'm 13 years older than me, which is still a good amount. You know, you could be my dad. You know, if you were crazy back in the day, which you probably were, you could be my dad. There's some young dads, you know.
Yeah, there was, I mean, hey, you know, the 80s were shady, man. There was some activity going on when I was 12 and 13.
I bet there's some dads that were only 12 or 13 years older than their son. But so you know, I wanted to get Josh on here. One of the biggest things I guess people know about us is Vine. You know, nowadays I still make comedy sketches, and we still make comedy sketches, but like everybody still knows this is the Viners. So Washed Up. I remember we made that video, Life After Vine.
That was fun.
So here's the truth. What is life after Vine?
You know, it's not fair just to talk about life after Vine, because this is life after Vine during a pandemic, right? So I got kids in school. I'm driving my kids to and from because they are back at doing in-person school finally. Jana's in high school, so I'm taking her to volleyball. We have to go to her volleyball, her first volleyball game tonight, and like it's just a lot of you've seen the movie Mr. Mom with Michael Keaton.
What year did it come out? From the 80s?
It was from the 80s.
Yeah.
But I feel like him in that, you know, like heating up my kid's grilled cheese sandwich with the clothes irons. I'm just like, everything's kind of falling apart. I'm stoked if I make my bed and do the dishes. I feel like I've accomplished everything. So I'm like on full-time stay-at-home dad mode. That's what. Do
you still create content? Like I've seen some of your videos, but I used to like. You make random videos sometimes, I guess, TikToks. But do you still try to make any content, or is it kind of like I'm a stay-at-home dad now?
I try, but I don't try that hard. Like I have to really feel inspired to do something that requires editing and multiple camera angles, because I don't know, it's just not as easy as it was on Vine. And I hold myself to another level, a different level of perfection. And I don't know, it's just easier to do like those Snap Story, Instagram Story type, like one-shot videos and throw those up on TikTok and throw those up on Instagram Reels. And I've got like a YouTube video I started filming. I filmed like 4 or 5 months ago that I started editing and I just haven't finished. So when I jump back in, I want to jump in and hit the pavement running and keep going and get that momentum back.
But you don't have that much time left.
I don't. It's all
How are you looking to the future?
Yeah, I should be looking at where I want to retire. Who's going to take care of my kids for me when I'm gone?
Well, who is it? And nobody's out there anymore, right? Like I moved from California, Idaho, like last year, and I know we made a lot of videos. Yeah, April 1st. We landed here April 1st, so it'll be a year here soon. Yeah.
Is this really just a ruse? You're trying to get me to leave California? This whole
setup
to get me there?
Juan's trying to get you. He hates you, but he also is like the best videos with Josh. They make. Juan's been making some videos every now and then. Even Juan's kind of been on vacation the last year. He's only made a few sketches. You know, he's just been like, I don't even know where he is, to be honest. But I do like it over here. Like that's the one thing. It is harder because nobody's making videos really. But I do feel like, I'm getting all over the place, but nobody makes videos over there, right?
Yeah, there's a few. I think there's more creators in Utah. I see like YouTubers hanging out in Utah, but I don't know about Idaho.
No, nobody's in Idaho. But in general, like I realized, oh, you're so beautiful. Sorry, Ray's here.
Thank you.
She wanted to show me her new dress. Not you though. You're ugly. No, you're beautiful in your own way. Your hair's looking really nice. Yeah, it definitely brings you a step. You're kind of like classy now.
Should I brush it? I could be sitting here brushing it out. We can do my hair care routine.
You look like you could be like someone's butler now. You know.
I appreciate that.
Juan's butler. You know, put a little tie on.
Juan's Butler.
Yeah.
Is that a new video? Let's do it.
We gotta do
it
like in the future now, things have changed and now you're serving Juan. You know? Juan became a movie star and you're Juan's butler. It could be good. But I okay, there's not really anybody that I know that makes videos in Idaho, but what I have noticed, I feel like I'm one of the only ones that still makes comedy sketches though. Like I look at for YouTubers to consistently and like I still am one of the few that consistently makes comedy. Maybe people don't like him as much anymore or they're not as funny. I feel like they're still kind of funny, some of the ones that I make. But
absolutely. But like Matt Cutchell, I see Matt Cutchell doing it. Matt. Like YouTubers like King Vader, they're doing their skits, but they have that whole dancing, fighting, special effects.
They're little the same way. I try to do random stuff. Matt Cutchell's one of the ones that makes comedy sketches, but in general, it seems like everybody's turning to like kind of like a TikTok style, like maybe smaller Vine kind of sketches, but also random stuff like green screen on TikTok or dances or weird stuff. So it's hard because I'm like, I want to do that stuff, but I can't I can't see myself doing that stuff.
Maybe we should just jump on the train and do what DJ Hunts is doing, man.
Like, DJ Hunts, baby! You brought him up. Yeah, I mean, crazy. I like Hunter using my videos. You guys remember him, DJ Hunts? Yeah. And sometimes I feel like, dude, if I just do that, I don't have to use like all this, like writing all these sketches. Because I will sit there for hours and write my own comedy sketch, my own ideas.
But he goes hard, like as far as like props and dyeing his hair and like
he's got the look, those eyes.
He's got the eyes, man.
I don't know. That is his like signature. Like he can make anything just different with those eyes.
He can make it pop.
He's like a chameleon, you know. He really is. He's kind of a chameleon. But everybody remembers him from my videos. Maybe we'll play a couple clips during this segment.
That'd be fun.
Almost got another pair of ass for your body.
Pair of ass for your body.
Those were the good ones. That's how he really took off.
That wasn't even in the original skit. That just kind of organically happened, and then it took over.
Yeah, because he did his little. He like looked up, and we're like, "Dude, you got to do that in the video." Yes. I was like, "How the heck did you do that?" But I mean, I don't know. I like making comedy sketches still. I don't know how long. I feel like sometimes I should focus on the small ones again, like go back to TikTok, like a Vine type sketches, because these long ones, it just seems that people don't really. They're not as engaged with these long, like 3 to 4 minute sketches anymore.
Right.
So
have you done any compilations of your TikToks or anything?
I did one. Yeah, I did one. But I have like a bunch of ideas for TikToks. I really do. I have like it's kind of like Vine. Like I start writing them down. I got a bunch of ideas, but I haven't fully jumped into that yet because I'm like, I don't know if I like my comedy sketches. I'm gonna do the podcast now. And then I do streaming. I play Fortnite. I got my first battle royale yesterday, actually. Not a big deal.
Hey, nice.
Just do like random stuff. But I feel like people just, in general, just these sketches, I mean, they do okay, but in general, it's just not like, they're not as engaged. So maybe
it's a lot of work to come. Like you said, you spent all this time writing them. And I think something I've learned about content creators and even comics and comedians, it's like, a lot of them know they're lazy. Like they not lazy, like they don't have work ethic when they do it, but they don't want to do more than they have to. They want to do just as much as they can to be successful. But I've heard comedians say like, I'm lazy, but I have to do comedy because I'm not going to do something that's more complicated. I'm not going to go get a regular job. I'm not going to like do all this other stuff. And I'm not saying that you're lazy at all, but I know
I'm lazy.
Well, we are. I think all humans have the tendency, except those people that are just wired to just go, go, go. But most of us, like, if I can do less and have the same or more success, why would I knock myself out? It's like, why stop doing any kind of stop frame artsy vines back in the day? Because I would spend like 4 or 5 hours making something.
And you get like
10 click at a time and no one would care. And then I would have Evan slap me and tell me I'm old and it would get, 3 million views in 2 hours.
Yeah. So. No, I think I have to be more lazy. I think that my issue is that I still want to make these like in-depth sketches, and I want to do like this podcast, and I want to do video games, and I want to do like family stuff and TikToks. So I have like all this stuff, and I'm probably doing too much, to be honest. I should probably just focus on a couple things because I spread it out too much. Like I've been streaming like twice a week. I still make a comedy sketch every weekend on YouTube, which is crazy. Like that's what I'm saying. Like once a week, I still try to make comedy sketches, and then I throw some TikToks in there, and then I'm starting this podcast. Yeah. So I'm like, maybe if I just focus, what is it? Quality over quantity. But I do feel at the same time that social media, this is just me a rant, rewards quantity over quality. Social media rewards quantity, not quality. Like they want you to, like Instagram, like I've been watching these videos, like how do I get in the algorithm? And they want you to post like 3 times a day. And then TikTok wants you to post like 3 times a day. Like if you start posting 3 times a day, if you start making like then you start reaching more people and your engagement. I'm like, that's quantity over quality. Like what happened to like maybe 1 or 2 posts, really funny sketches in a week, couple maybe photos that are cute, but they want you to post photo, reel, post, AGTV, like all in a day. If you could do all that in a day, your engagement will go up like crazy. So then it's just you start posting trash, to be honest. I mean, I've seen your page.
Yeah, you have. I mean, that wasn't a you in general. That was you. You were talking directly.
I'm talking to you.
Yeah, I got
I'm tired of your quantity over quality, John. No, I mean that's no, but you get like penalized for posting less. Like you do get penalized for that, and it's been hard because I've never been one to post a lot. Like I like to, I used to do my weekend sketches and maybe a couple pictures during the week, and just to lead up to that weekend sketch, just to get people to do that. But with all the algorithm changes, even on TikTok and Instagram and all that good stuff, like I've been talking to my wife who's helping me. Like she like watches these videos of these other influencers that like help people get engagement.
And she tells you what you should do.
Right? And yeah, and she's like, oh, you got to post a picture, you got to post a reel, I'm like, that's like, I cannot post that much content. And first of all, people don't follow me for me normally. They started following me because I like make comedy stuff. So I cannot be posting 3 or 4 comedy like TikToks a day. Or it's gonna
you could just post more family photos though, because some of my most popular posts on Instagram are when I just Photoshop myself into the back of one of your family photos. Those seem to do really well.
Those do great. Yeah.
Do a few more of those. I'll do a little more Photoshop. It's a symbiotic relationship.
It's a bummer because I at first it was like less of a job. But now it's like almost more like I worked hard and you knew it. You would see me. Like we would have like these elaborate sketches, these huge props, these sets, and we would shoot like 2
a guy on boom, a guy on script. Yeah.
And we shoot like 3 videos in a day or 2 videos in a day. It'd be like 4 to 5 hours. We went hard. So it's not that I don't try, that I don't work hard, that I don't put my effort into it. It's just it's becoming more of a job in a way that like, oh, I gotta do this to be successful, instead of like, I'm going to make something I really love and hope that people like it. Like that's where it's changing with social media. I know it's kind of a rant.
The good news there for you, and I'll reference you a lot because you pushed through that point, so you're not the one doing all the work yourself. You've been successful enough and you're on enough platforms and you're making a good enough living that you can have someone that's acting as a prop guy and one person keeping things on script, and you've got a dedicated guy shooting and editing, so you get to focus on the creativity, you get to focus on getting the right people together to be in your video, and then you get to focus on directing and acting, and those to me are the fun parts. And the parts that aren't fun are when you have to also make sure the lighting is good, make sure you're getting all the shots that you needed and that everyone's in frame and in focus, and then on top of all that, bring your A game for your performance, and then have to sit down and edit it. That to me is the barrier for posting anywhere near as much as you do. I feel like creatively I've outgrown one guy, one phone, recording, editing, posting, but I haven't broken through to that level where I could afford to have staff. So I know that where you are is where I should be trying to get.
Yeah, it is good. Like I could think that's one thing that people might not know. Like I guess as a social media influencer, I was able to make a good living, But a lot of my money went right back into my videos. A lot. Like you see my
Batman
warehouse.
and Ruben or Batman
Yeah,
and Ruben, right?
that series was like 15 grand. Like that's how much it cost to make 4 videos. And I honestly, I did not make that money back in those videos. Like those videos each got like maybe 1 million views each. And that's like maybe $1,000 to $1,500 a video. Right. That's it.
What about on Facebook?
Even then Facebook. So I think altogether you make like maybe I made $5,000, $6,000 off of spending like $15,000. But I was okay with that because I was getting brand deals.
You were okay with that because of Bitcoin.
Because of Bitcoin, baby. No, I wish I would have invested Bitcoin back then. I'd be retired right now. But I was okay with that because I was getting brand deals consistently enough to offset that. So like a lot of people don't like a lot of my videos. Yeah, you know, I made a good living. I'm not Logan Paul or nowhere near Logan Paul, but yeah, I was able to be successful and make good money to be able to hire people.
You're cut like Logan Paul. You like with your shirt off. You're very much like Logan
these
Paul.
Paul brothers. They don't want this, man. They don't want. They want to go box Floyd Mayweather. You can box me, you know? I'll mess him up. I think I would mess Jake Paul up, but he wouldn't want to step in the ring with me. I think even though I'm getting older, I think I still got a lot of fight in me. A lot of people don't know I did train MMA for like 5 years. Boxing is different, I know, but I have the mechanics down still a little bit, get back in shape. Give me like 6 months. I would not be afraid to step in the ring with that guy. I would go in, even though he's bigger than me, I would be, but he won't be down. He won't let me get that $1 million contract, you know? He's trying to withhold the money from me. That's what he wants. He doesn't want me to be rich. He's trying to keep me down. He doesn't want me to get rich, you know? But anyways, I used like a lot of, you know, like you said, I hired people because my passion was to create content. So I hired people, like I got a team. Like I think that I could have probably still made like decent videos and good money without that team. Like, but because I wanted to put the money back into to make it even better, you know, so I put so much money into, you know, hiring people, so much money because I wanted to take it to the next level and give people like this quality stuff. So it wasn't just like, yeah, I made good money at the time. Obviously now it's a little slower with things, but it's okay. I moved to Idaho. Like it's like $1 for milk over here. You know,
isn't it funny to contrast that to Vine in the days when we would still all get together and like maybe if people came down from LA and we were all shooting, we would all try to get a few videos in. So we would have filmed like maybe 5 to 10 videos, and then people would be sitting around on their phones editing.
Yeah. Like Vine was the golden age. Vine was the time when I would spend like $10 on a video and I was making really good money because it was just so easy. There wasn't all these crazy effects or all these props or all these boom mic and different. It was literally just the phone and somebody. And when I think Vine was a solid year when it was just Vine by itself before YouTube and Instagram started coming in. It was like a solid year of Vine. And that was the best year because it was honestly like I wasn't spending any money on all this other stuff. It was just maybe some props here and there.
I remember an early Vine we did when Cody and Clarity were down and we were filming with Evan when he was like 3 years old in a car.
Yeah.
And we were filming it in Vine and I was trying to like time this sound effect.
Yeah.
And Cody's like, I'll just add that in post. And I was like, oh, really? Like,
yeah, that's when it started. And
people are admitting that they do that out loud sometimes.
That video was like 4 seconds long. Like that video was like 4 seconds long. The Vine was 6 seconds, and that was like shorter than a Vine, and still it went pretty viral. I remember it was like it did really well, but it was like 4 seconds long, and they got like millions of views. I know. Yeah, it was even like, and I try now. I made a couple videos that were maybe like short, but I still like I can't believe how much we got into 6 seconds at that time. But you know, like I said, in general, I even now still. Even though I don't make as much money as I used to, which is okay. Like I said, I never was in it to make millions of dollars. It was nice to make money and to make a living out of it, but it was more like this is really fun for me. So now I still probably should kind of pull back a little bit, but I still put like if I want a video, I still put a couple $1,000s into it, getting all the right props, you know, actors, still getting it edited really well. And so I kind of I started posting like every other week comedy sketches. I do like these story times, really dumb things, but those are kind of like to fill in the gaps with content because I cannot be spending $10,000 a month anymore on. I would probably spend $10,000 to $15,000 a month to run these videos.
Well, and if I don't know if people think about this, you've been making videos for this many years, dumping money into props and production. Like, do people know how many props you have and where you have to store those?
I don't even know how big the storage is, but let's say a average size garage, like your garage.
Okay.
Close to the size of your garage, full of props. I think if I looked at my props, there's about 20,000. I would say on the low end, $20,000 to $50,000 worth of props in there. Because I had like those Five Nights at Freddy's suits, Chuck E. Cheese. Those were all like $600 to $1,000. Like, because they're like custom made. They're like, that was like expensive props. I had like, some of my props go up to like $2,000 for a prop.
And that's all here, or did you take
it's
some?
It's still in California in the storage. I've been waiting because there's these storage units that are opening right next to my house. They haven't been built, but like over here, we're still developing, you know?
They just opened storage units next to my house too. So if I ever achieve this level of success, then I'll go.
So I was thinking of selling it. And then I was like, no, I might still use those props because I really haven't used any of those props. I've been kind of on bare bones.
On eBay, listed on eBay.
Yeah, David Lopez Frivolous.
Yes, can you imagine?
There's some good stuff in there though. Some stuff like props, like I said, the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff, the costumes that we used once or twice. That was it. So they're still really new, really nice. Like I think I could open a Halloween store for 1 year and sell like good amount, or if I can do like a Halloween rental costumes because I have so many dang costumes. Over here, I've been kind of like working with scraps and bones because I've just been like being like I have like a little tiny like room full of props here. Like it's been growing. So I'm like, I gotta sometimes I double buy the props because it's too much work to get the other ones over there. So but I try to keep my videos as minimal. So I'm gonna there's a storage unit opening over here by my house, literally like 2 minutes away. So it's almost done getting built. I think when that's built, I'll move everything. But I let them over there for you because that because
I'm gonna break in and I'm gonna sell it on eBay.
Yeah,
the brand deals are like slim, you know.
Yeah. You know that's my retirement plan. Hopefully they're worth a lot back in the day. I mean,
so you were talking about how she like listens to these things and like gets these tips and then she brings them to you.
Yeah.
Should we talk? Have you looked at Clubhouse, that new platform that everyone's talking about?
See, that's another thing why my head explodes. Because I'm like, I still make YouTube videos. I have Instagram that I try to keep up with, and now TikTok, and now Clubhouse. I'm like,
different.
I know.
Clubhouse is more like being at VidCon and having there be all these panels about all these things, and you just pick a panel and you go in and you kind of listen to it, and if you want to raise your hand, you do, and you can ask a question, and other people might invite you to speak.
So they can't interrupt you in Clubhouse? Like, it's not like an open platform where there's like 100 people in there and everybody's talking at once. It's like one guy.
So there's what they call the stage, and they invite people onto the stage. And then there's another section that shows, here's the people that are listening that are followed by people on the stage. And then below that is the general audience. And you can disable hand raising or have it on. And then anyone who's a moderator can bring someone up onto the stage. And at that point, they can interrupt. And then you can demote them and kick them back down or whatever. But it's like a live podcast, interactive, where the listeners get to interject. And some of them are really good and some of them are all over the place. But I've been doing the same thing, listening to all these, how to grow your TikTok, how to get views on Instagram. And there's all these people. And I'm finding out there's so many more creators than I realized. Like there's some family down in San Diego that was like, the dad was on there. He's like, oh, my kids have millions on TikTok and we create all this stuff as family. And I had no idea that they were even there.
They don't care about you.
What's that?
They don't care about you.
No, they don't care.
Wait, if you said hundreds of thousands, then yeah, let's collab. Millions? Get out of my house.
Yeah. But it's like it's this whole new media. Like I didn't have any idea they were there, but because they were on Clubhouse, now I know they're out there. So I'm listening to all these people talk about what works for them, what doesn't work. And you have to take it all with a grain of salt. Who knows if these people know what they're talking about?
They might. I mean, I remember, at least for me, not that you're a small creator, which you were smaller than me, but I remember when I was collabing, my favorite collabs was the smaller creators. Like, I was like, oh, Josh Darnit, Jay Mendoza. Hold on. My camera stopped recording. Sorry, I got this new camera, a Canon EOS R5, super nice.
You got the EOS, the full frame,
R5
mirrorless.
Yeah, nice. R5, really nice. The reason why I got it real quick is because the autofocus on this is amazing. So it's like so simple to use, even though it's such a good camera. I'm sure I can do way more wonderful things with it. But for me, I was like, I want good quality, easy to use. Because the last like 4 sketches, kind of, this is a side note before we go right back into what we're talking about. The last 4 sketches or so, I'm shooting everything myself now. And then I send everything to Jordan. So podcasts, sketches, brand deals, everything. I shoot everything myself now.
With a tripod?
Tripod. And sometimes I'll fly out Isaiah and his friend, just like 2 guys. And sometimes my cousin who lives like an hour and a half away from me, which is nice. I didn't know he was that close to me when I moved here. But the fact that he's an hour and a half away, he's been my go-to. His name's Adam. So
is he the guy that's been in your like Cholo videos?
Yeah, a lot of people thought it was you. A lot of people were like, "Is that Josh Darnit?" So
yeah, like he got plastic surgery to be more handsome.
It's funny because
younger.
My cousin's like 35. He's not that much older than me, but he has like gray everything and stuff like that. So it's kind of like the new Josh Darnit, but younger, a younger, stronger version. But anyways, so I got that camera because it does this weird thing when I'm doing podcasts. It only records for like 30 minutes and then I have to set it up again. I don't know. I haven't figured it out.
I know what that's about. So if you want to, I know we're sidetracked here, but like cameras have to pay an extra licensing fee to be video cameras. So Sony, the new Sonys have started removing that. My Lumix GH5 has that where you can record unlimited, but most cameras, I think they save something on the back end, I've heard, where they don't have to pay licensing as being a video camera if they cut you off at 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. It says something about like movie footage stop, something weird like that, 30 minutes. So I have to like break it up into 2 segments usually because I usually don't go more than an hour. But anyways, back to where we're talking about. I was saying I was one of the few, like I had the opportunity, not like that, oh, I'm so cool. Well, I'm kind of cool actually. You know, I had some, I'm cool, but not that cool. My kids think I'm cool too. But I had the opportunity, like I could have probably collabed way more with like Logan Paul, Rudy Mancuso, Lele Pons. Yeah, we did some videos. They were reaching out to me. You know, like I said, like Lele Pons, who else was up there? Those were like big, you know, King Batch, Lele Pons, Rudy Mancuso, Logan Paul were some of the top like Viners. And they would reach out to me. And I didn't personally like collabing with people that were like bigger than me or even the same size as me in Viner because I felt like it was so business like oriented or like it was just different and I didn't like it.
They had more to lose and you could sense that they were like they had a lot. They felt like they were putting a lot on the line anytime.
Yeah,
like
with so
much about
it was weird. So and they were like very like getting to the Hollywood scene. And for me, I wasn't very Hollywood. I was like, I want to do this, but without all the Hollywood. Like I don't want to like I don't want to go to the parties and like you know let's make Vine and have a huge party afterwards. Like it just wasn't me. That just wasn't my scene. So. That's good that, you know, obviously they went and all of them got really big. So I do believe like maybe if I did that, I could have gotten even bigger, but I was okay with the size that I was. And I was okay. It was like fun for me. So, but I always found that the smaller creators, like I said, you, Jay Mendoza, Oscar, Corbin Miles, Eric Artel, like you guys, we all like had so much fun and they were always like so willing and like everybody wanted to be there. Everybody wanted to have fun. And the smaller creators, I think most of my videos were with people that had a couple 100,000 followers. That's it, like on Instagram at the time. Like Vine, maybe you guys had more, but when we really started collabing consistently, it was like Instagram, YouTube. And it was just like more fun with you guys. And that even nowadays, like that's like, I would rather collab on, like I've had some people like, hey, I know it's harder with the pandemic, but that wanted to make some videos with me. But I would rather make it with like you or Isaiah, you know, because even though Isaiah doesn't even really have any, like, because it was just more like fun and we laid back. And to me, the Jay
Mendoza, there's a lot of ego, like
the Jay Mendoza, you, when we get all together, you guys were like, so I always reached out to the smaller creators, but I feel like these bigger creators, you don't see big creators collabing too much with small creators. Like even on TikTok, it's all millions of followers with millions of followers, or a couple 100,000 with a couple 100,000. I felt like I was one of the few that was like, I don't like everybody over here because everybody wants to be the alpha, you know. Right. I'd rather come down here, and even though I had the most followers, we all were like pretty equal. Like when we would hang out, like it wasn't like, even though I would end up paying most everybody, and not like other creators. With other creators, we would like, I think the tag and the revine or whatever it may be, or I would buy you guys lunch every day. You know,
I miss those lunches, man.
Yeah, I was not. I remember like anytime we filmed.
Wendy's, Yellow Deli.
We'll have to do another podcast one day where we just talk about the filming days, because we would film maybe a couple times a week, maybe once like a Friday or Thursday, a couple videos, and then lunch would always be like the best. I always try to like, let's get some good lunch. It was always about making everybody happy with lunch. And
one time you brought in cheesecakes from Cheesecake
Factory. Yeah, we DoorDash Cheesecake Factory. And like, see, those are things that would add up that to me was worth, like, I was investing in like the moment. I was investing to make sure everybody's happy. Yeah, if everybody's happy, they're eating, they're feeling good, the videos are gonna come out better. But those things like Cheesecake Factory probably was probably like a $300 lunch, you know, because the Cheesecake Factory and those cheesecakes alone were like $50 each, you know.
John and Evan were just watching the time when we came over and did the pizza eating challenge with you. And of course they're watching, they're like, we should do this again. I want to get a whole pizza again. Like they just love getting to go and try to eat a whole pizza.
Yeah, I wanted to do some more. The only thing with the eating challenges was as you get older, you know very well.
I know, man.
You cannot eat the same. Yeah, I noticed that I wasn't able to retain these Rick, arms anymore. Because if I was eating a whole pizza or 12 cheeseburgers or something. So I was like, oh man, if I'm gonna do an eating challenge now, I gotta like eat really, really, really clean for a week. Because if I
maybe do it once a week.
I'm one cheeseburger away from like large pants. Like what did he say on Guardians of the Galaxy when they were making fun of Quill? He was like, you're one cheeseburger away or something like that.
Like one sandwich away from fat or something.
Yeah, that's me. I'm like right at where he is. Like it's always like I'm not like I haven't like just let go of myself to where I'll eat whatever I want. Because I still like when you have kids, you got to be in shape. You got to like run up and down the stairs, especially you got like it's. I mean, you
chase them out in the street, pull them back. Sure.
Yeah, like we're running. Like my son wants to wrestle with me and stuff like that. So I try to keep like. I mean, I guess I don't have to be in shape. I can let him win, but I got to teach him these balls,
Wait till they're older and you try to play tag with them, and you're like, how did I used to do this when I was a kid? Because tag is essentially like sprinting nonstop to get away from people. I try to play tag with my kids or my nieces and nephews, and within like 30 seconds, I feel like I was dying. It's like, how do kids do that? They just run all day.
Yeah, so that's why, like I said, I was thinking of doing more eating challenges, but I'm like, I'm not the type of person, because once I do that pizza eating challenge that day, I'm done. The rest of the day, remember, like I'm done. Like I can't do anything. I'm in coma, like food coma for at least till the next morning, really. Absolutely. So it would be hard because I'd be like, I can't eat that day. I would eat the whole pizza, and then the rest of the day I'm just shot. What was that place that we eat? Did you ever go? Remember that office in Escondido?
Yes.
The place next door. Did you ever eat there?
Was it a pizza place?
No, it was like a Canadian food or something. And that is chicken with like gravy sauce on top of it. No, man. That was heavy. So we would.
You're buying lunch for this, right? You're delivering a cheesecake to my house?
DoorDash to your house because it's for this situation. Yeah, man. But it was that place was good. But we would eat like crazy. I mean, it was fun. The filming days were so fun, and I still do that now. Like recently, when we get the opportunity, I'll get like Isaiah. Like it's only small. Like it's maybe Isaiah and Caesar. That's it, or my cousin Isaiah. Like 2 or 3 people, and I'll still get them something. Like we'll still get something really nice, like food wise. We'll get some like there's a couple good places over here that if you ever come out here, you're gonna like.
I'm close. I mean, I'm not old enough to get priority vaccination, but as soon as I can
get almost there.
COVID vaccine, I'll be out there, dude.
You're almost there. I mean, you could just like I don't think you have to show your ID. Just say I'm old enough.
That's true. I mean, what are they going to do? Question
that? Come on. They're going to say, you're that guy from David Lopez videos. You're old enough.
Right. Speaking of that, and you said something about it earlier, it's so funny that people ask, where's Josh? Because I cannot go live or post anything without at least 2 or 3 comments, which is, where's Juan? are you still friends with David Lopez? Are you still friends with Juan? Like, why don't you guys make videos? And I've been honestly thinking about having a shirt made that I can wear when I go live that just says, yes, I'm still friends with David Lopez or something like that, because it's without fail 100% of the posts. And if I go live on TikTok, it's like every 3 minutes somebody asks.
That's usually
like, I'm
me.
answering it.
It's me. I'm just insecure and I want to make sure that we're still friends.
It's you. You're paying your followers.
I'm just
to
like,
go
hey,
on
go.
you.
Just make sure that we're still friends.
Nice.
But I mean, one of the things, I guess, let me see, what did I have? I wanted to know, because people are going to want to know this stuff because we're Viners. Who was your favorite Viner?
Oof, that's a tough one. But honestly, I think for like being well-rounded, I really liked Danny Gonzalez because he was funny.
And he became something else outside of Vine.
Yeah. And I used to say that back then. He was funny, but like the humor was kind of dry but smart. And then he also could edit and do special effects, but he wouldn't rely on it. He would like implement that in. And then there was a musical component. I didn't know what like a good musician he was, but if you look at some of the stuff he's done with like collab with their Team Internet, he's collabed with like Jay Cyrus and Vincent Marcus, and they've done like songs where he's like really skilled. So I just kind of admired him as an all-around content creator and creative person.
Yeah, he was one of those Viners where it was too short for him. Like, I think that's why he wasn't as successful on Vine, because he was like way more creative for that 6 seconds. Like his Vines, like once he was able to go to YouTube and like create longer form, he blew up. Because I think Vine kind of was, it was good for him, but it was kind of restricting his creativity.
Yeah, he definitely could pack things in, and like he would use music really smart. Like some of my favorite Vines videos had a song, had a
like Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson's niece.
Yeah, Liam Neeson.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That one was awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, he was definitely in the top. I mean, I like some. I can't remember. I know he's probably not like, people would be like, I can't believe you like that kind of comedy. But what was it? Evan Breen was really funny.
Oh yeah.
That dude was funny to me. Like I have my own like sense of humor. I have my own like humor content that I create. And there's different like his comedy is different from other people's comedy. That's like, there's some people on like TikTok. Mm-hmm. Have you heard of like, I think it's PD USA. He only has like maybe 600,000 followers.
TikTok's too big, man.
It's huge.
You could say 20 names and I might know one of them. There's so many.
He's so hilarious to me on TikTok. This guy named PD USA, and he's just. But it's different. Like his comedy would be dumb for a lot of people, just like my comedy's dumb for a lot of people. But I almost feel like the comedy that I make, I'm a different fan of a different kind of comedy.
Yeah.
Like I like different. I do like my comedy, but when I'm watching something, it's different from my comedy.
Sure.
Like it's I think like that, like Uncle Cracker or whatever we say. When he was like, he's like, who took my beanie or whatever, and they got like
that one where the beanie got stuck in the window. It was funny.
Like those kind of stuff. That was my I like that really, like it was kind of like funny but dumb, but like funny at the same time. There was some genius to it, but it was also dumb. So it's like a mixture of everything. So
but I like weird stuff too. So like I really liked Marlon Webb too. Like,
Marlon Webb was hilarious, I think.
Because he could do something that was so weird, and it would be like, that was like the stuff that, like his videos would come out the way I would almost think mine were going to come out. Like I would have an idea and I would think, oh, this is so weird, it's going to be funny, but then it would just be weird. But he would do it, and somehow it would totally work, and you would be watching.
Yeah, and his
so
face,
bizarre.
His little like the way he did things, and his face and his mannerisms. He was really funny too. Like, and that's like I said, it's different. I keep it clean. I'm clean humor. That's just me. But doesn't mean the other guys weren't funny. There were some other people that were really funny. It's just different humor than mine. But I still think, like, in your heart, I was the favorite Viner. I think you just didn't want to say it.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was like present company.
Yeah,
Vines, especially the ones with Evan, were my favorites.
Oh yeah, I still got all my Vines like in my phone, the original one. I like downloaded it. All like it was like 1,200 Vines or something, which is crazy.
It's weird too how the old ones that are so low res, you look at them and like I don't remember them looking so like
I posted the one like a day ago or something, and it on Instagram is so fuzzy and blurry. It still did good because it was like a Juan Vine and it was like singing, but it was like horrible quality. I'm like,
like
dude, it's crazy.
the first ones were like 480 by 480 pixels, and then they went a little higher. They were like 640, and then later you could edit and upload a higher quality video, and so maybe you have a higher quality copy of it. But
yeah. Well, okay. Now, as we're ending, we're wrapping up. Yeah, because it's almost an hour. What is your favorite video that we made? If you remember.
Yeah, I get asked this a lot. Now, you talking about favorite to make or like the end result, like how it came out?
Both. First favorite to make and then end result. Like which video was like, that's just one of my favorite videos.
There's actually a lot of them. So probably that went up on my channel. I love that the run, that run phase was like run.
Oh yeah, when he hit the grill.
The one we did where you were like beating up my barbecue with the hammer, and I come out and said, Juan, and like I think Chad filmed that. And the way he filmed that with us running down the side, it was just shot so cool. And it also did really well. It was probably one of my highest performing vines. Yeah. That one, just because the production quality was good and it was funny. And as far as yours, it's like a toss up. Like there's a lot of them, honestly. I really love the obviously the mustache, where's your nose with Evan.
Oh yeah.
The got your nose, that one was really good, just because Evan did a really good job in it too, and it was just a funny idea. But I love the one where you the lemonade stand one where you threw the lemon in.
Oh yeah, that was one of my most fun, and I posted that a couple of extra times, and it still like does kills every time.
Like I don't even think you enhance the sound. I think that's the real sound of the lemon hitting my face.
Yeah, because I think we can kind of edit back then, but at the same time, it was like we needed to make that look real. Yeah, it was like we needed to make that look real. And it was like I remember like there was sometimes we had to slap. I'm like, okay, remember like on this is outside by Juan's Father's Day. When we were
the slaps, yeah, that was
slapping you, dude, and I was just like, but they were like decent slaps.
They were decent slaps because it has to look good.
Yeah,
dude.
It has to look real. Like a lot of these slaps in my videos that you see are all pretty much real. It was very.
People have no idea that I have such a strong cheek.
Even like this is aside from the video we made. I made a video with Isaiah once where I slap him and then he slaps me back. But when we were filming, like he slapped me, and then you know how like we have the camera on me and then the camera on you, so we're like getting your shots. So when the camera's on you don't have to slap me like for reals. Like if we're getting your angle, but Isaiah still whacked the heck out of me, and I was like, dude, it's not even on me. You did not need to slap me. And I was like the hardest. Yeah, he might have been mad at me that day or something. But that's just we'll probably have to do another podcast, like another time we were on the podcast, because we have way more. Like we can go into the filming days, like how filming was, how making these videos were, like just the creativity behind it, because we made so many dang videos. And I'm sure you're crying every day missing the crew,
I do. And you know what I miss? I used to say this back then. It was so nice. Like sometimes just when you would have a video and I would just get to come and you had script and all I had to do was act. I didn't have to write something or direct and film. And it like kept me in that mode, having to remember lines, even though I'm like the worst at lines. But like
I said, we had to get into it because with my videos, like I would never really nobody would memorize their lines. It would just be like someone feeding them the line at the time. Yeah. So, but it was fun. It was good times, and we got to cut this off. I know that you have so much to do. You got to grill some sandwiches or something, right?
Right.
You got daddy daycare going on right there. With Josh Darnit, and he's fried too, which makes it harder, to live. It's just harder to make sandwiches when you're a little bit fried like that. But it's just
time. You'll see. You'll get there.
I'll get there one day. I'll get there one day. But thanks for stopping by the podcast, Josh. Everybody, follow Josh. He's still around. Don't worry. He's on TikTok. He's on Instagram. I'll put his information down below. YouTube, just TikTok and Instagram, right?
Instagram and YouTube too. I just haven't posted in a while, but I'm still gonna post some YouTube.
And Tinder, he's still on Tinder. Yeah. Christian Mingle, he's still on Craigslist. He's on all of it. So he's everywhere. Make sure you check out Josh Darnit. Hopefully in the future, when things clear up a little bit more, hopefully sometime this year, we'll make another comedy sketch. Juan's butler. Maybe that's a good. That's
Maybe
it'll
be Juan's grandpa, and I'll actually shave this and have a mustache when I play Juan's grandpa.
You'll be like all this time you were actually related to Juan, and you didn't want to tell him that you were the Sancho. You know what Sancho is?
Yeah, I know what a Sancho is.
Oh, so that was you this whole time. I didn't even know you were so bad. But yeah, so thanks for stopping by. Like I said, check them out. We'll make a video one day. And that is all for the podcast today.
Thanks for having me, David.
Thank you. Peace out.